For this assignment, you will need black papers, green papers, white papers, purple or brown for the shirt. I used brown paper on Frank's. I used purple paper on the witch. Now I could have made the witch a little more skinny. I'm pulling her down to show her triangle hat. I could have made her hat a little bigger too. That might have been effective. But I like the way that the rectangles on her shirt are tipped out like Frank's too. And then look at the features. The nose is a triangle, the eyes are sunglass shapes, eyebrows are kind of those cutout pieces. Hers almost look like chopsticks or a pencil. And then she's got lady lips. You can draw into this too if you want to, but I think it looks good to leave it nice and crisp and clean. So we're doing more paper craft around this October holiday. They call it Halloween, but you can make a self-portrait with paper as a person. Start with that oval, rectangle, 2 legs, 2 arms. So it's a body and a torso, legs and arms and hands, eyes, nose, mouth, and eyebrows. We didn't worry about ears today, but we do have hair on both of our creatures. Please make your paper portrait, whether it is a holiday Halloween portrait or just a person. Send me a picture. Thank you. Hope you have fun doing this. Bye. Hello. Today we're making some monster faces, and I thought I would make a witch and a Frankenstein. Both are starting with green papers for the face, usually black for the clothing, maybe purple for the shirt or cape or something like that, white, black for eyes, white and black, and then maybe hair is brown, or this could be Frankenstein's shirt too. But these are all half sizes of sheets if you're working from home. If you've seen the materials video, you know to fold this paper in half. Exactly. Fold it back and forth a few times. This is to get a half sheet. Now, if you were going to make a quarter sheet, then it'd be that way at one more time, and then that's a quarter. But for this assignment, we just need a half a sheet. So I'm going to go ahead and cut these into almost oval shapes. I'll show you, there will be a difference. So the bottom of this, I'm rounding from the middle to the side. If we folded this, it would be exactly the same, but it would have a crease in the middle also. So I'm just rounding the bottom off, and it's not perfect, but it works. And then the head is the same. Now, with this, if I'm cutting Frankenstein, I just want to round that off. That's all. Now, a witch is usually a lady, so she's not going to look like Frankenstein. I'm going to cut this to a point, and then cut this on up, and then I have a rounded or a squashed oval, skinny. Do you see the difference? Look at the top and the bottom are a little different. This will be the witch, this will be Frankenstein. Okay, setting those to the side now. Well, for the witch, I want hair. So I'm going to give her long, straight, curly hair. So the way I'm going to do that is cut this straight up. It's going to look kind of like a letter J. And then straight up, and then out, almost like an S, and then back together. So this is going to be connected until I cut it apart. There, it's cut apart. Just adding a little bit of difference to the end to look like hairs. Now, if I want to put this over like this, it works. That works for a witch's hat or head. But if I do this, this works too, and it can go on the back, and then the hat can go on the front. Let me show you how to make a hat. So you take another half sheet of paper, cut this to the bottom, rounding this edge up. I'm cutting like a squashed oval. We call it an ellipse shape. It's what you would cut an eye, a white back of an eye, and then a pupil out of. It's that shape. That is going to go here. I might put a little edge of crayon on it so I can see that this is this edge of the hat. So that looks a little different, and that's okay. Now I need a triangle out of this. I could go from this edge, but here's what I want. I want it to go straight that way, and straight that way. And then this, if I cut this, reverse this cut, that goes on there. And then that's my hat. So I can start to glue those parts. I'm going to save all these parts because I might need them. For example, here is going to be my witch's nose. Cut like that, cut like that. It's a little triangle. It's going to go right there. I need whites for eyes. I folded my paper, cut half the oval, cut the other half of the oval. There's her eyes. Frankenstein's eyes are more like sunglasses. Like the lenses in your sunglasses, they go like that. They're squinty on one side or pointed, and then they're flat on the other, or almost flat. Kind of like you would do a zombie eye or a mummy. So I need the dots. I folded this paper twice, and it's scrap black paper that I was doing for, wait a minute, was that my hair? Nope, that wasn't my hair. I'm thinking about what I'm doing, and I'm putting my parts to the side. And so I'm turning this as I cut it because I want it to be round. Okay, pupils. Here's my eyes. I put Frank's eyes up like that because I want him to look meh. And then her eyes are over here. Usually I'm not going to have a witch smile too much, but I'm making a friendly witch today. It only takes a little piece of paper, not this big even. But I'm going to fold this because I want it to go up like this, down. And if I open that, then I've got lips. And she looks pretty peaceful. Looks like Janelle Monáe. Anyway, so I can go ahead and make a body for these, but I wanted to show you how to glue them together. Open up your glue, pick the top. I can see the glue coming out, so it's ready to go. This isn't going to take much, but here's a technique I'd like you to know how to do. You dip the black part in the glue, then you trade this one with this one. You dip the black part in the glue, you put the eye back, and then you put that down. And that's on for good. Putting just a line of glue there for my nose. Putting just a line of glue here for my lips. I'm going to need something here. What is that something? Did you say eyebrows? Well, you are correct. Now I have this rounded shape, but I also have this, which is kind of neat. Let's see, is that going to be way too much? No, that looks good. Just move that around a little bit. That will be fine. So you want this to go in about in the middle. So you just need a little glue here. And this would be your hat. And if we want it to look more three-dimensional, we take that white crayon and draw a little bit on one side. And that's fine. It doesn't take much. That's going to go that way. And you could make a different hat if you'd like. This is just the one I did today. Then I'm putting this behind it. I'll need to look at what I'm doing. Probably don't need that much glue, but I do want this to stick out a bit. So I'm kind of dragging this through the glue and moving it to where I think it ought to be. Now let's look. There's our Wonder Woman witch. It's kind of funny, and I don't see the nose that well. I could draw a little bit. So there is my witch head. Let's start on Frankenstein and set her to the side. So we've cut the eyes. We'll need a mouth. We will need a nose. We will need eyebrows and a little bit of hair up here. So here are the whites. Remember, we're going to do that dip trick where I dip this in the glue, put it on top, and I want that eye to go up and maybe back here a ways. Check it out, see where you want to put it. Dipping this in the glue, putting this on, and then I'm looking at where that eye is and going, oh, okay, about here, something like that. Here's my scrap piece of green. Something like that will work. And I had this left over, remember? Maybe thicker eyebrows for this guy. Guys usually have thicker eyebrows than ladies, sometimes. There's that. Dipping it in that end so it has it. And then there's that. Now he needs hair and a mouth. We're not making him too smiley today. He's probably a big grub. So that's half of the mouth, and it's the same shape as the eye. Now, if you wanted to draw teeth on there, you sure could. That could work, but he looks like Paul Revere. Tracing. And I could go a little further than that. And then I think I'm going to cut just one little swatch out. Looks like Moe from the Three Stooges. He's kind of upset. You could put the bolts on the neck if you'd like. I was thinking I could show you how to build a body for this also. So I'll do one real quick. I'm going to go ahead and do it for the witch because she's pretty far along and I'd kind of like to make a purple shirt today. So I've got that purple half sheet of paper. Round off the corners. Just cutting the corners off. That's all. Now I'm going to fold one half sheet of black paper in half. I'm making a jacket right now. So this needs to be rounded on one corner, but I know I need to cut this apart. So I'm going to cut straight up the fold side. And then I have two halves of a jacket. Like that. And that's going to look great. But I like to tip this out just a little bit because she's going to fly, I think. She's a witch, and I want it to look kind of like she could move. And you would make the body for Frankenstein or a Dracula or any kind of figure the same way. Now, we're only doing this because it is a holiday for some kids, and if you don't celebrate Thanksgiving, that's okay. You can just make a picture of you or your mom or somebody that you care for. It could be mom or dad or anybody, and it doesn't need to look like a monster. Now, I wanted to show you this trick for cutting legs, and it's the easiest way that I've found. So I've got my paper open there on the fold. I round this together, go back to where the shoes are, and then go straight up that way. So I have legs. You're going to cut just a small notch between the legs right there. Open it up, and there you go. That's the easiest way I've found to do legs. I'm going to glue this on the back, right over that, like this. And make sure to hold it down for about 20 seconds, and it should be good. If you need to write your name on the back now, this would be a good time, because there it is. Now, I need one more piece of black. This can take a lot of paper. Here's my piece. That's a big piece, so I'm going in half, folding it back on itself, and then fold it in half again, and that's a quarter sheet. So if I want to cut right along this edge, that's going to go just fine. There's that. And now I have quite a few half sheets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 full sheets. There. So, right. Fold this in half. Hot dog, long and skinny. Cut straight across. These are going to be my arms. They go on behind at the top of the shoulders, right there. That way my arms are going to look like they're in the right place. It's part of the jacket. Now I need hands. They don't have to be spectacular. They don't have to be every finger or anything like that. I'm just drawing a little bit of a wrist and then one finger sticking up, and then the thumb bump, and then the rest of the wrist. So it's kind of like this. And then I have to make sure that this isn't too wide, but I'm going to put the pointer finger up. So let's move this down, a little bit of glue, pointer finger up. Now the same thing on the other side. Let's get to where we can see this. Moving some trash out of the way. Put your name on the back of this. You can do any figure you choose to do for this assignment. This is almost finished. Now there are a few things I want to add to my sweet little witch lady. There's my legs, and I'll take a better picture of it. And then I could initial this or put some difference to it. I like her purple shirt. I will hang her up and put her on the board. This is a paper craft assignment, and I hope you're enjoying it. I see some gold paper, but you might not have gold paper. So maybe I'll use a gray for the belt, or maybe just yellow for the belt. Or I could decorate this some way, or I could have a pattern on her pants. Now, this only took 17 minutes for me to do the faces and then the head. If I should go through how to do a body again, I'll do that real quick. But I'm going to put my witch to the side. She's finished. She's ready to dry and lay down. Now, Frankie needs a jacket, arms, and pants. So here we go again. I'm cutting this right along the fold. There's those two. Now my arms don't need to be this wide. And actually this I'm going to do for my jacket. There's my jacket. Now I need the legs. So I've got this part, it's open. There's the feet, straight out. So I have that shape. Now I go right at that fold, but halfway up, cut that apart. I think Frankenstein would look cool with a brown shirt on today. And there's my brown half sheet of paper. And so Frank is almost ready to get the rest of his jacket. I'm doing Frankenstein's monster right now. Tipping that out just a bit. Tipping that out just a bit. I can put Frank's face over, and it doesn't need to overlap so much, just a little. But it goes right down on there. He really doesn't show his neck very often. He never sticks his neck out. And put those so that you don't see the triangles of this sticking up. Here's what I'm saying. You don't want it to look like that. You want it to go under there. So what does he need? Yep, he needs hands. That's about it. And his name, your name on the back. Here's this half sheet of paper I saved. I'm gonna cut kind of mitten fingers or glove fingers. They're kind of knobby little digits or fingers. There's 4, and you don't have to have it correct if it's hard for you to do. I understand. Hands are kind of tricky to cut out, but if you fold your paper and you cut it folded together, you get 2. So that's kind of cool. Thumbs usually go up or toward the inside. Not usually turned out like that, but so that goes inside. So we need a little bit of glue right there. Tuck that under. See how that looks? And then we'll move this back out of the way. And then this, just a little bit of glue. I'm checking to make sure that I've got everybody where I need them. So, I hope you've enjoyed Frank and Lois. Or maybe this is Mom and Dad. No, maybe not. Maybe it's you and your sister. Maybe it's Frankenstein and a witch. Maybe it's just a person that you make. I chose green because I'm doing a holiday kind of creature. I've got Frankenstein and a witch, but if you don't celebrate Halloween, then you don't need to use these colors. You could use white and make it kind of tan with a tan or an orange crayon. You could use orange. You could use brown. You could use any color you want to for the skin. But I would like to see you make at least a face out of paper. But I made a whole body. Now, this is bigger than the mummy. Let me show you the little mummy. This is the same form as the mummy, right? Same size. But you could make him small as this one if you wanted to. We worked with half sheets of paper. This is a half. This is a quarter if it's cut. And then you have 2 quarters to work with. That would do 2 parts of my mummy. You need 2 more quarters. So with a full sheet of paper, you could do this. But it takes more than 2 sheets of paper to do this because it's bigger. It's more paper, right? All right, I hope you'd enjoyed doing this. I'll have more information around the assignment on Google Classroom. Bye-bye, everybody. It was nice to see you.